I'm James. I am a software engineering apprentice working in the audience data team here at the BBC in London. I have an interest primarily in software engineering and in coding, but I also have an interest in television and radio production. Working at the BBC, it is great to be able to combine those interests together and see various aspects of the company. I was considering going to university, but then it was actually my mum who looked up other potential routes. She found apprenticeships, and specifically the BBC apprenticeship, and then there was the formal interview process where they basically asked me loads of questions, which was a bit terrifying, I suppose. Sometime later, I got an email saying, "Welcome to the BBC." I've started my second year in the level 6 software engineering degree apprenticeship. Every week I do have a study day where I just do all my university studies and tutorials. I work in the audience data team. Our team basically is responsible for all behind the scenes stuff to do with iPlayer and sounds. We start the morning with a stand-up meeting as a team, so we basically go through all the stuff that we're working on and make sure that everyone's on the same page. We then get to work, working on our projects. It's quite flexible, sometimes in the office, sometimes I'm back at home. As somebody who has Asperger's syndrome, I certainly had a lot of changes to support me. I find that the environment is nice. I enjoy my current setup. The BBC has a lot of support for neurodiverse individuals. I really like my team. I think they're such a fantastic bunch of people, and I've learned a lot from them. Sometimes we have team social activities, so we go out, we've done crazy golf, we've done VR experiences. Working at the BBC is something that I never imagined I'd be able to get into. I feel really privileged to be working here. It's really cool to be a part of it, really.
I'm Daisy. I'm a fundraiser and events officer. I'm doing the fundraising apprenticeship with JGA, which I got through Essex County Council and Targeted Employment. I work for a charity called Apprentice Rural Training. We help vulnerable and isolated people in Essex get back into education, qualifications, we get jobs, volunteering. I wanted to expand my knowledge and just get back into learning because I really enjoyed uni. The apprenticeship's been really helpful, helping me achieve my role here. I mainly write bids and grants to raise money for the charity. I'll have weekly meetings with the CEO, my line manager. They're very flexible within my role. I can work from home and in the office, which suits my accessibility needs. My most proud achievement would be that I've managed to raise £80,000 for the charity in the year that I've been here through bids, grants, fundraising activities. I have monthly bike events that I run and attend, which I go to the Colchester site in Wormingford. I like being able to help people and seeing the good that we do as a charity.
I'm Erin Lysandro and I'm the Office Manager for Apprentice Rural Training. Daisy's fantastic. I'm most proud about her personal development. Her confidence has grown. She's had really good support through her tutors and mentors that she's had from the apprenticeship side.
My name's Jonathan Smith. I work for Essex County Council and I'm the lead for inclusion around apprenticeships. Apprenticeships can be a really viable pathway for young people with disabilities and difficulties.
The adaptations have been quite easy and something that we've always encouraged for all our staff.
Through Access to Work, I got a program called Dragon, which is a voice dictation app and headset. If I want to walk around and write the bids, I just talk through the headset. I don't have to be stuck at the desk, and that's been really helpful. I actually get a taxi through Access to Work. The hour and a half bus journey just wasn't feasible for me and my disability. They've been very helpful in helping me access work.
It's been a really seamless process. Having the access to work programme and being able to order all the equipment she needs and to have her a home office space has been fantastic. It's just watching her fly, I guess, taking her from the Daisy she was a year ago to the Daisy she is now.
My advice would be to not give up. There are many options out there to help you get to work or get an apprenticeship. It exceeded my expectations and it has been a great thing to do, and I really don't regret it, and I would encourage everyone to have a think about it and do one if you want to.
I'm Connell Scholar. I am doing a personal trainer apprenticeship at therapy gyms, helping clients with different conditions and needs. How I became an apprentice was my job coach, Jonathan Smith, who works at Essex County Council. He sent me a link to the apprenticeship at therapy gyms, and I thought it looked really interesting.
My name's Jonathan Smith. I work for Essex County Council under the SEND Strategy and Innovation team. Within Essex County Council, we started working around inclusion around apprenticeships. Connell was the first young person that came through this accessible pathway. The journey he's come on is amazing.
The learning part of the apprenticeship, I have a tutor and he usually comes in like once a month just to go over bits and how the studying is going, how the learning is going. My colleagues are pretty supportive. It's a very welcoming, inclusive, friendly environment. It's those small little changes, those small little adjustments can make all the difference.
I'm Matt Brinkley and I'm the director of Therapy Gyms. Connell is our personal training apprentice. It's really nice to see Connell becoming more himself week by week, day by day. You can tell he really enjoys being in the gym and he's got that passion for it. Adjustments are made to support him the best we can. And as we grow and take on more gym locations, I can just see Connell growing with the business. Inclusive exercise is what we're all about, so it's a pleasure to have him here.
One of the highlights for me is being able to be more hands-on in my role because I know more. I want to be that personal trainer that can train everyone. My advice to young people would be, do it. Go into it and go into it with an open mind. Not only do you get skills that help you for life, but you also get a qualification out of it. You're learning and you get to earn as well. That's like one of the best parts about it. What I would say to my younger self is that you're going to go on to do so many incredible things.
My name is Esme. I'm doing a level 2 production chefing apprenticeship. I work in the army base and I serve lots and lots of people. I work Monday, Wednesday and Thursday. I sign in and put on my uniform. I wash my hands and get my recipe, weigh out your ingredients. I have a caring team. They help me every day with my shopping skills, cooking skills, serving skills. I like working with them.
My name's Mary. I'm the General Manager for Stexay, working on Denison Barracks.
My name is Toy from HIT Training and I'm a vocational trainer.
Esme was introduced to me from Fox's Academy, was looking to take on an apprenticeship. I met her over a Teams meeting to find out what would be the best apprenticeship for Esme to do.
Her passion is in the kitchen and food cooking. So we placed her onto a level 2 production chef, which would enable Esme to participate in things like chef academies.
I first met Mary at the Foxes. She told me about the apprenticeship I'm going to do. I like to cook curries and casseroles. I've learned about my subjects, so the person's right amount of food, and if they have an allergen.
There's not one particular person that supports Esme. We all support Esme. Working with different personalities and different abilities, it gives Esme a wider range of what sort of people to work with, as Esme calls it, her working family. But Esme is a very independent young lady. She's got passion and drive within herself. Chico, who's also done an apprenticeship with us, he's gone through the steps, so he actually guides her where to go and what's needed as a requirement.
It's great to see that there's so much support on site for Esme.
My advice for others would be to believe in yourself, believe you can do it. There is people out there to support you.
You'll be surprised at what an apprenticeship can do. It's for everybody. It's not a selected few, it's for everybody. It's inclusive.
My favourite part of the day is where I interact with the team and following my recipes. I guess my advice to others: enjoy your work, have a good daily routine, and to describe my apprenticeship is outstanding. It makes me proud.
My name is Nanayal Badu and I'm a sports youth worker. I'm doing a sports apprenticeship level 2 community activator coach. So Future Youth Zone is a charity where they offer a fun, safe place for young people to become active, live healthier. The way I became an apprentice was I went for a recruitment event day and they were telling me about how the sports apprenticeship works, how the setup was. When I first started, I was a bit nervous, but since I settled in with this job, I knew that the kids were gonna love me. Right now, I'm really enjoying this job because the kids are very nice. They always get me moving. I do some learning online. I also do development day every 8 weeks, and it helps me within my employment. My colleagues, they're really nice people. My line manager, my employer, they supported me so well. They have made an adjustments to meet my needs. They give me good advice, how I can settle in, how I can support the kids as well.
I'm Ray and I'm the Volunteer Recruitment and Staff Training Manager here at Future Youth Zone. In Nana's role, he's a sports apprentice, and since starting with us, he's brought lots of different ideas. Transitioning to become an apprentice, a staff member, the responsibilities change. We started off with the junior sessions where it'll be easier for him to build that rapport with the young people. That's what we've done to adapt to his needs, where he can build up that confidence in himself.
The one thing I love about my job is the atmosphere from the kids. They always come up to me and say hello Nana, how you doing?
The biggest change that I've seen in Nana is his confidence grow. He puts 100% in all the activities.
My advice is just go for it because it helps you to gain employment and it's very good for you. You're gonna love it.
I'm Maisie and I'm working at Hertfordshire FA as a Football Development Officer for Equality and Inclusion. I'm doing Sports Business Management degree apprenticeship. My mum saw an advertisement for 2 degree apprenticeships that were open at Hertfordshire FA. My mum sent them to me and told me that I should apply immediately really, and that's what I did and I don't regret it one bit. At Hertfordshire FA, we look after and oversee all the football that happens in Hertfordshire. I'm looking at how we can make football in Hertfordshire more inclusive and more diverse. I've always had a football background, so I knew I always wanted to work in the football industry when I was older. Being deaf myself, equality, diversity, inclusion is something that I've been around for quite a long time. I've been around people who maybe have similar opportunities to me, been through similar things to me. If I can be in a position where I can change those experiences, then that's what I would like to do. I do my actual degree learning at Hertfordshire Uni. I'm there once a week on a Monday for lectures, seminars. I quite enjoy being in the office, being around the other people. It's also a very friendly environment to be around. I have had people asking me if there's anything they can do to make my life easier, which is really nice to know that there are people thinking about how they can make it the best opportunity and the best experience for me. Everyone should feel like they can play football, everyone should feel like they can be involved in some way, shape or form. Apprenticeships are a great alternative to universities. You do at the same time still get a degree, whilst also taking a more proactive role and being more involved in everyday life, really. My advice for other people would be to kind of trust your own instincts and trust yourself, because at the end of the day, you know yourself best. Always keep the door open for taking your degree apprenticeship route, because I think it will really open up your search and really open your eyes wide to see what is out there.
You're mixing it up with every job you got. Not every job is different. There's always something different with the job that you're doing. Hi, my name is Tyler. I work for Sparshets Truck and Van. I'm doing a level 3 heavy vehicle apprenticeship, and my normal day-to-day is routine heavy vehicle maintenance. Heavy vehicle maintenance involves the basic oil and filter service, gearbox services, differential services. We just service the vehicles and we do inspections to check that the vehicles are safe for the roads. I chose this career because I was recruited by Sparshets Truck and Van to do a week's work experience. I genuinely thought it was cars when I first came in, and then I got brought into the workshop and I saw a truck and I was so shocked. I was like, what? I'd never seen a truck up in person before, but then I'd done the week's work experience and I just fell in love with the job really. So the way my apprenticeship works is, on a Monday I'm in college with my tutor James. We spend half the morning going over certain topics that we're learning. So at the minute we're learning about mechanical components and cooling systems of engines. So we spend the morning doing that, and then in the afternoon we go into the workshop and we take different components off the engines and the vehicles to learn how they work, why they work, how they're made, why they're made like that. You're also learning and physically taking things apart and understanding how they work. Every day it's different, and like one minute you can do a job which is like fitting a set of batteries, and the next minute you're stripping a gearbox and find out why it's not working on them. The recruitment process for the job was, I had a teacher who done career paths, and she came up to me saying that the company was interested in me and like how I'm changing myself, and they'd like to give me work experience. So literally I finished my GCSEs on the 14th of June 2019 I believe, and then a week later I was at the new depot, and I remember my first day walking in, as I said, I saw a truck and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. If you're considering an apprenticeship, my advice would be, do it. Don't hesitate, go straight for it. If it's what your heart's in, or even if you're 50-50, just do it. Honestly, I'd never do anything differently. This is the best thing I've done in my short-lived life at the minute.
Hi, I'm Kelby Diamari and I'm doing the Nursing Associate Apprenticeship within the NHS. The apprenticeship runs for 2 years and it is based within the University of Bedfordshire. 1 day a week I go to uni, 1 day I do placement, and then 2 days I work on the ward. I would recommend an apprenticeship for nursing, as it takes the stress off you having to pay back a student loan. It also allows you to gain the experience before you're fully qualified. So I've been able to gain experience in all different fields of nursing, so when I am fully registered I can decide where I'd want to work.
I'm Michael Aylott. I live in Hertfordshire and I'm doing a carpentry apprenticeship, NVQ level 2. So I work for a company called MP Build. They're based in Letchworth and it's sort of like a general construction company. They do design and build, and I've been working for them for about 4 years and started my apprenticeship after 2 years of working with them. After 2 years of that, I wanted to sort of progress and sort of get a career for myself, and after looking at other jobs I decided I did like construction, so I asked if they'd put me on an apprenticeship, and yeah, I went from there. I sort of fell into it really. I was doing a course at university and I was enjoying it there, but then after a while I realised that it wasn't going to get me where I wanted to be, and so I took a step back from that. Sort of fell into construction by accident and then realised I actually enjoyed it. I decided to get a trade, and carpentry was one I chose because after looking at sort of like electricians and plumbers, I thought it had more variety. Every day is different. A typical day is waking up fairly early, getting to work at 7:30, get my safety equipment on, my high-vis, hard hat and boots. Then I speak to my site manager about what he wants me to do for the day. So if there's any tasks left over from the day before, I finish those off, and then he'll sort of highlight what I need to do throughout the day and give me specifics at certain points in the day. So I could be doing anything from building a roof to putting a lock on a door, hanging a door, doing skirting architrave, building walls. It's a good variety of stuff. I think the thing that drew me towards an apprenticeship was the fact that you can earn money whilst you're learning. This gave me a good opportunity to do both those things, and I don't feel like I've really missed out on anything by doing an apprenticeship. The learning side of my apprenticeship is split between college and working on the building sites. So I go to college 1 day a week. Normally we do sort of half a day practical workshop stuff, and then the second half of the day theory, and then the other 4 days are at work. It's quite nice going to college for 1 day a week and then working the rest. It breaks the week up. My tutor will come to site every couple of months for a few hours at a time. He'd do some videos with us sort of to get site evidence towards our qualification, and then he'd sort of do a check-up to see how we're getting on. He'd chat to me, see if I have any issues. My advice for students considering an apprenticeship: basically do your research in your specific job, watch videos, try and find like the life of, so like me, the life of a carpenter. Find out if you need to invest in stuff before you start. Advice for parents whose children consider an apprenticeship: I would maybe help them do some of the research into the jobs, but I'd say just be supportive of it. What's next? Probably get a few more years experience under my belt and then maybe go travelling. Carpentry is one of the sort of trades that you can take anywhere and work across the world with it. So yeah, pack my bags and see where my tools take me. Seeing at the end of the day what you've sort of built with your hands is satisfying, sort of standing back, and rather than sitting at a computer and sending out emails, you can actually see that you've accomplished something at the end of every day.
Apprenticeships, in my eyes, are the best way, and it's the new upcoming way of getting into a job. Hello, I'm Chantel. I'm 25 years old and I work for Buckinghamshire Fire and Rescue Service. I'm a full-time firefighter. I've been in the job just shy of 5 years and I completed my apprenticeship 3 years ago. Day in, day out, we're very, very busy. We go to a number of fire calls or other service calls, but we also do a lot more for the community. So we go out fit smoke alarms, we go to charity events, we go to fetes. Not only this, on station we do a lot. We do drills, which is where we practice what we need to do for when we go outside and do it for real. And we also sit and eat together. So we're very much like a family at a fire station. I picked this career because it was something that I actually wanted to do from the age of 3. However, I didn't always think that it was possible to be a firefighter as a female. I heard about the apprenticeship as I was looking on the Buckinghamshire Fire and Rescue website, and apprenticeships was the only thing available at the time to become a full-time firefighter. So as soon as I saw it, I knew I had to apply. Thought about the idea of going to university, but actually thought, why don't I do something that I'm passionate about? The fire service do it all in-house, so you are actually part of the crew from day one. You are very much the same as every other firefighter here doing that role. You have to complete your qualifications while doing this job. You spend the first 12 weeks in your training, and then you're back at station for the rest of your 2-year apprenticeship learning on the job. So my recruitment process was actually quite a challenge. There was a series of phases that you had to complete before you were actually selected. This involved an online application. You then had to sit a maths and English exam. Once you passed this, you had your practical days. So this was demonstrating everything that you would need to do as a firefighter. Climbing ladders, going in small spaces, mechanical tests. Once you passed this, you had an interview and you had to deliver a presentation. Once this was all done, you got accepted into the job, but it didn't really stop there. You had 12 weeks of brutal training, which was very, very, very tough. And then you had the rest of your 2-year apprenticeship on the trucks, learning while doing a qualification. The best way to stand out, I believe, is to be yourself. Don't try and be someone that you're not. Be yourself, go for it, be confident in your abilities. This was something that I only later discovered. Each time that I passed the phase, I almost didn't believe I could do it because of my lack of confidence, but I would say, looking back, be confident in yourself because you've got this. My advice to others who are considering apprenticeships are, do it. I'm a firm believer that you don't have to go to university to get a good job, to be someone, to get somewhere. You can do this through other avenues. The great thing about apprenticeships are you can earn while you're working and learning what you're doing. Apprenticeships have that stereotypical low wage, and that's not always the case. I found it was the best way to get to where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. I would say don't put pressure on yourself to follow everyone else and go to university. Start your apprenticeship and get straight on what you want to do. Alongside doing my apprenticeship and obviously going to work, I still had a very active and full life. I still got to hang out with all of my friends day in, day out. I was able to visit those that did go to university, but also spend time at home with my family, which I find the best thing for me. Family is very, very important. I am very interested in sports, personal training, hitting the gym. Doing the apprenticeship actually gave me a lot of time to do the things that I wanted to do and pursue all my interests that I actually have. My hints and tips to parents would be, do listen to your children, find out what they want to do, and do see if there's other ways that they can get into their job, like apprenticeships. You don't have to go to university to do my job. You can go straight into an apprenticeship, and it's the same for others. So I would say, look at what is out there and what is available, because university isn't always the best route. So my proudest achievement is getting into the fire service. It's very cliche, but this is something that I've always wanted to do. So to be able to achieve it as a female, to go into a male-dominated role, is honestly the best moment of my life so far.
To the office wasn't for me. Getting out on site, doing things with my hands a day just clicked by like nothing really. Hi, I'm Frankie. I'm an apprentice electrician, learning to be an electrician, and I work for M&S Electrical. But a typical day for me could look like turning up on site 7:30, 8 o'clock, depending on where I am and what sort of work environment we're working in, working through on a normal 8.5 hour, 9 hour day, with multiple different options of what is going on throughout the day. No 2 days are the same. It could be one day you'd be doing first fix, second day, second fix, last day it'd be fault finding bits and pieces, and each day has different challenges and different obstacles you have to overcome. So with JTL, it's a level 3 apprenticeship in electrotechnical installation, which in layman's terms is just become an electrician. With the college side of things, I've done day release for the first 3 years, managed to complete all of my college work in that time. The final year is just gaining your on-site experience. Obviously you do gain that throughout the entire thing, but the final year being 5 days a week. So what I've really enjoyed about the apprenticeship so far is the fact that you can earn and learn at the same time, where university wasn't personally for me. Didn't want to travel away, but also the courses provided in my local area weren't for me either, so I had to look at other options. So the apprenticeship has benefited me by obviously giving me the 4 years experience, and from the back of that, just giving me the confidence in different lines of work. So coming to my end of my 3rd year and sort of into this 4th year now, I've been given a lot more leeway, left to do my own work a little bit more, and it gives you that job satisfaction that you've actually completed the work yourself versus working with someone as an apprentice. You actually have the job satisfaction that you finished it yourself. Once I applied for the apprenticeship with JTL, it's like a scheme you get onto. They then provide you, if you need them, you can find your own, but they would then provide you with some options to actually put you into the workplace. For myself, I had 3 different options. I spoke to all of the directors of the 3 companies. From speaking to my company, M&S, and the director made me feel like at home basically, so that's the reason I chose M&S, and I've been here ever since. So with the university and everything surrounding it, my school was pushing it, but for me personally it just didn't work with my situation. I weren't really at the point of my life confidence levels enough to say, oh yeah, I want to leave home, I want to go and move away, live on my own. But then in the surrounding areas, the universities that we've got, not that they're bad, but they didn't do the courses that suited me, so I had to look for other options, and apprenticeship's what I found. There's plenty of things to enjoy about the day-to-day job, but the main thing for me really is just the variety. I'm not one for really sitting in one place for too long, so my advice to an apprentice just starting off would be to come into it with an open mind, to give it your all, to work with people, not against people, because the more you look like you've got the willing to show to actually turn up and be helpful to the person you're working with, the more likely they're going to show you the little tips and tricks, and they're going to actually want to work with you. The more you show that you want to be involved, you will be.
My name's Saoirse. I'm an apprentice keeper at Africa Alive in Kessingland, and I'm doing level 2 animal welfare and care assistant. I started my apprenticeship 6 months ago. I started with shadowing the senior keepers in the different animals. I also went and assisted with the medical treatment. But I've always loved animals. I've always loved and been interested in being able to provide them with care. I specifically chose this apprenticeship so that I could expand my knowledge on wild animals and African animals and giving them the care that they need. A typical day for me is to check on all the animals, make sure that they're all happy and well fed, and making sure that I can provide them with the good exercise and enrichment that they need to live a fulfilling life. I first heard of the apprenticeship on Facebook. I was really surprised to see something in animal care for an apprenticeship, especially so locally, so I just had to give it a go and have a chance. So I had a one-to-one interview with a couple of the senior keepers. I then followed up with a practical session where I sort of made up an antelope's bed and made their enclosure all neat and tidy for them. A lot of my training is hands-on, it's a lot more practical based. I do a lot of shadowing and assisting with the other keepers in their work. I also do remote lessons with the college, so we'll do almost Zoom calls. A lot of it is shadowing different animal keepers in the park, and we do a lot of medical treatments and obviously keeping up with the animal welfare. Looking to the future, after my apprenticeship, I would really like to stay in animal care and welfare. I'd like to do any research into animal conservation and just stay on the path that I'm on, really. My advice would be, if you are thinking about an apprenticeship, go for it. If you have a passion and you don't think that you'll be able to do it, and you have that opportunity, go for it. Take the opportunity and do everything that you can to do it, because it is possible.
My name is Alex Sussex. I work at the University of Cambridge in the Gurdon Institute, and I'm doing a Management and Leadership Level 5 apprenticeship. I lead a team of about 5 people who have very different skills, so I thought it would be an advantage to actually learn how to actually manage properly, how to manage my team and how to manage projects and the working environment. I'd say there's no typical day for me. I look after all the scientific high-end equipment at the Gurdon Institute, things like confocal microscopes, sequencing machines, flow cytometry. A lot of my day starts with wondering what's broken, whether people have problems, what scientific questions people need help with, and that carries on through the day with people coming and asking for support or help, or thinking about experiments that they want to do in the future. I'm interested in training, and I realised that though I have the skills to manage the equipment and kind of like my day-to-day job, I realised I was lacking kind of like management skills and really knowing how a good manager should look. I was wondering what course I could do, and I saw that my employer advertised apprenticeships for management and leadership, and I thought that seemed a perfect course to address the skill gaps I have. My apprenticeship is with a training company that specialise in management and leadership courses, and I'm given 1 day a week to study with them. A lot of the course is online, and I meet a tutor once a month to discuss my course, discuss the projects and discuss how it's going. And the course has been made very relevant to my work environment, so I have a project that I'm doing through the course, which is an actual work project, so I'm applying what I'm doing as I'm working. How you manage people and how you manage different people, it's been discussed. I go away and practice on my team, and then I come back and discuss with my course supervisor how what we've discussed has worked and the outcomes and how I could have done things better. And then I also have a mentor that I meet with every 2 weeks to discuss how the course is going, elements of the course, how I could do things better. So it's been a great learning experience and development of good management and leadership skills. I would encourage students or parents to think about apprenticeship as an option, as it's a great way to learn lots of different skills. If you're not sure quite what you want to do, it's a very rounded way to learn and get experience in different elements of the workplace. And for continual learning, then it's also been very good for me, as I've developed skills I didn't have before. I think apprenticeships are great for kind of all-rounded education.
Hi, my name is Rhoda Chok. I'm a day service support worker for Hertfordshire County Council. I currently work at Bournemouth Multipurpose Day Services. I've been in this role for the last 4 years, but before I came here I used to work in nursing homes and all sorts of health services. When I joined the day services, I enjoyed it so much, and I thought I would like to develop myself here and develop my career. So when we're doing our supervision meeting with my manager, I suggested that I should be considered for an apprenticeship. A typical day for me starts at 8:30 in the morning. We have a staff meeting. Me and my colleagues sit down and have a meeting, talk about the day before and the plans for the day ahead. And then our service users come in from 9 o'clock. We set up for the activities. We always have activities on the rota. We know what we're supposed to be doing, so we set up. And then after 10 o'clock, we do the activities. Our day service supports service users to develop and participate in activities of their choice, and that's a wide range of activities. We have sports, games, gardening, music, and we also support them to interact with the local community, to access all the local community facilities like swimming, library, golf, tennis. I'm currently doing a level 3 in adult social care. This is a team leader role. I'm looking to develop my skills from being a day service support worker to be a team leader. I've always known about apprentices, but I didn't realize that you could start apprentices at any age. But our county council are very supportive of apprentices, so they advertise posts every year. My apprenticeship is giving me skills to team lead, to manage and supervise other people, to be a role model to other staff. So I'm hoping when I finish, I'll apply for the role. For someone who would like to do an apprenticeship, I'll advise them to go online, look for more information, do your research, ask people who have done apprentices or ask managers of organizations what the apprentices entail. Apprentices are a very good way of advancing yourself. You can start them at any time. You can do one level and stop and then carry on when you are ready, and you work while you earn. My apprenticeship is an 18-month program, and it involves 20% of the job. So I work and I'm given time to do my studies. I enjoy my job because it gives me satisfaction to see how much joy and how much change we make to the service users. When we first meet them, and after a year or so, the things they do, the things they perform, and the joy in their faces, it just makes me feel so good.
It's such a mind-blowing moment because I never really thought of myself as an award-winning apprentice. Very lucky that I love my job and that I'm 20 years old and I've found a career that I want to do for the rest of my life. I'm Amelia Cochrane. I'm a third-year mechanical and electrical engineering apprentice at Coca-Cola Euro Pacific Partners. I've been in my role for 3 years and I have 1 year left of my 4-year apprenticeship. I can't describe a typical day in my life. One morning I can wake up with a plan of what preventative or routine maintenance procedures I can perform. Really varied, and I can't say I have a game plan when it comes to planning my day. There is no plan when it comes to engineering, it's just very reactive. I'm doing a level 4 engineering apprenticeship, so I study both mechanical and electrical, so I'm therefore multi-skilled by the end of my apprenticeship. I also do automation related courses just to give us an additional advance because the world of machinery is going so automated. My apprenticeship is 4 years long, so I'm in my 3rd year. I'm almost complete, I just have a year left. But I go to college 1 day a week, with my first year of my apprenticeship being 5 days a week at college. The way I came about the apprenticeship for CCP was actually at school. So I was doing a presentation at school, something, talking about work experience and my opinions of that as a student, and actually recently completing a series of work experience over the summer. And CCP representatives were there. And after my presentation, they came up to speak to me afterwards, like, we really like you, we want to get to know you more. And, a week later, I was walking around Coca-Cola, seeing how everything's made. University for me wasn't really suitable. I'm a very practical learner. I like to be, examining something up close and working on it. Engineering is a very practical discipline. You are very hands-on no matter what sort of engineering industry you go into. Part of my apprenticeship is that I do get to go to an external training provider or a college, and we talk theoretical principles in a classroom environment, and then we come in the next day to our workplace and we actually get shown the practical side of that theoretical knowledge, and it just makes everything click, and it's so much easier to understand a concept when you have it in your hands and you're examining it and looking at it from a different perspective, and asking the questions that come to your mind. I don't know if I give one reason why I love my job. I think I just love everything about it. When you wake up at silly o'clock in the morning and you think, oh, I've got to go to work, but no, I've got to go to work. Like, I really enjoy my job. I'm so passionate about engineering as a discipline anyway. To then come to work for the company that I love, with the people who are just so supportive. Everything about my job is incredible. I could be underneath a machine covered in syrup and grease and be the dirtiest I've ever been, but I'll still have a massive smile on my face because I love my job, and that's where I am at my happiest. At the start of the year in February 2021, I found out that I was the FMEA Apprentice of the Year 2020. I was the finalist, I found out last year, and then this year I found out that I actually won the award in a virtual ceremony, so that was just incredible, and that I found my dream job at a very early stage, so to get an award for that was just absolutely incredible. Advice that I would give to students would be, just give it a go. You may discover a new discipline or a new area that you've not maybe studied in school, but always had a little bit of an interest in. Apprenticeships now are so varied. I mean, there's apprenticeships in pathology and radiology and everything. So you're not just limited to plumbing or engineering. There's so many more options. In terms of the social aspect, in terms of making new friends and meeting new people, within CCEP we have such a broad range of apprenticeship disciplines that we are all varied across the UK in terms of our location. We all work at different CCEP sites, or some work from home. So we're all based across the country, but we get together every year. You can just discover something that you've not actually heard of, and it may be your dream job. So just apply and give it a go, because there's nothing stopping you, there's nothing holding you back. You get from it what you put in, so you just have to reap what you sow.
Ever since I was a little kid, I was just fascinated by television. My passion just sort of sped up from there, really. My name is Ben Barnett and I am a broadcast operator here at the BBC. I'm here on my apprenticeship scheme here at New Broadcasting House as part of the news gathering crew. I've been an apprentice at the BBC for 8 months now, and it's been a rollercoaster ride. I have been up to so many things that I wouldn't think I'd be doing in my first 8 months. I thought it'd be a gradual process, to sort of tease into it. Filming press conferences with the Prime Minister, with the Health Secretary. I filmed the Queen's speech in Parliament, and it's a big cliche, every day is different. I typically I'd run a cutaway camera, so I'd take lots of GVs, the general views, and essentially fill all the shots ready for the package. I could be called in at any given time to go sent out to a location. It could be something political, it could be something to do with social affairs, or it could just be a really positive story. We'll go into one of our editing suites, and we typically have a correspondent with us, and we liaise with them over how they want the story to look, what shots they want in there, what shots they don't want in there, and then that all goes for a review and essentially goes out onto BBC News. I first heard about the apprenticeship through my technician at college, so I took A-level media. I wasn't really too sure where I wanted to go. I wasn't sure if I was going to do university, apprenticeships, or whether I'd just go straight into a job. So I applied for it and here we are. The way the apprenticeship works is there's different placements. So at the moment I've done news gathering crew, there's TV studios, there's radio production, there's editing, there's lighting, podcasts, there's a real variation. After each placement I'll have a college week, so I head down to Buckinghamshire and I've got an educational provider there, Allspring Media, who will teach me the theory, which will go towards my qualification for broadcast operations. Training-wise, it's really, really good. And what's not to love about learning new things? To me, it's never felt like I couldn't get the help or couldn't ask for the help. There's a huge amount of support here. Everyone's here in this little bubble, supporting each other. My number one tip would be just apply. With the apprenticeship, it's almost like a hybrid. You're constantly doing your theory, you're doing stuff practically. You've got that, on-the-job experience. My advice for parents would be to sit with their child, just go through, have a read through, go to career fairs, speak to previous apprentices, get them to share their experiences. And there is almost this hesitation that apprenticeships are not as good as going to university. I completely disagree with that. I think university and apprenticeships are almost at the same level, if not a little bit higher. I could be biased. I certainly don't regret my decision in getting this apprenticeship at all, in the slightest. I almost get like a kick out of it, such a fast-paced environment, but I just want to go into work. I'm excited to see what work's going to offer me, and I enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. It's really rewarding. I love it. Wouldn't change it.
My name's Carly Maguire. I'm an accounts officer for the House of Commons in the Finance, Performance and Portfolio team, and I'm based here in Westminster. I am doing the AAT Level 4 Diploma in Accounting, which is the professional level. I've always been interested in business in general anyway, but the more I looked into the aspects of a business and what's most important, accounting was always the common denominator of a business. My main responsibility in my role would be to record and reconcile all of the income that is received into the House of Commons bank account. My typical day, I would start off by reading any emails that needed to be chased up on. Then I would download all of the payments that have come into the bank account and make sure that's all recorded and processed. For this apprenticeship, I found out by the Parliament Job Opportunities website. It gives you opportunities for both the Houses of Commons and Lords. The apprenticeships I was looking for, they were quite generic. So this one was an actual role with real responsibility, but studying at the same time. And also in a place like this, it's just amazing. For me, it was one of two options, either uni straight after school or an apprenticeship. The more I thought about going to uni, I probably wouldn't have concentrated as much as I thought I would be, and I'm obviously going to have to pay it off at some point in my career. With the apprenticeship, it's studying and working at the same time, so getting your experience at the same time. There's more chance of you getting a job straight after your apprenticeship than you getting out of uni straight away. My course specifically is distance learning, so my training provider is based up in Birmingham, and then I do my classes and all my revision online. My advice for students, I would say that organisation is top tip, I think. Especially if you're thinking of studying a high level, there's a lot more concentration needed and a lot more studying revision to be done. And my advice to parents, there's great benefits to it. You get more experience by doing your studies alongside. Doing the apprenticeship now, when you're working alongside your studies, you can adapt your studies to your tasks that you do every day. You can always pass your exams better with higher marks when you're practicing it every day. If you're covering areas in your studies that you don't do in your role, you can also shadow other people, they do as well, so you want to get the best and the most out of it as possible. Working in Parliament is amazing. You get to see all kinds of different culture, history around your workplace. I've also been in the chambers while I've been here as well, which is amazing. It's always great working somewhere where you enjoy the surroundings.
Just go for it. The opportunities that are out there are endless. My name is Summer Rafiq and I am a quality coordinator, but recently just completed my business administration apprenticeship and I work for Coca-Cola Europe Pacific Partners. I started my level 3 business administration apprenticeship in September 2019 and I recently just completed it in June, which I achieved a distinction in my qualification. So I currently work in the quality department, which is where I look after consumer complaints and also GMP on the factory floor. Day to day I would receive the post from complaints that we received from consumers and I would go out and do the investigation work, so doing some testing in the lab or looking at our retains to see if I can see any of the same reoccurrences. So when I was in my second year of college, I drove past the site and they had a massive banner promoting the apprenticeship scheme. I knew I wanted to do an apprenticeship. I knew university wasn't something that I wanted to go into. I had a business administration apprenticeship. I was studying business at college, so it all just fit in really nicely and I ended up going on the website and straight away applied. I wasn't sure that you could do them in a a business-based role and I always knew that I wanted to work in an office environment. When I found out about there's opportunities there, that's how I ended up looking into it. As I was currently studying business, it felt like the right thing to do. The recruitment process was fairly long, so as soon as I applied in October 2018, I got sent a link to do some online games, which were to test your skills, I guess. After the online games, I had a telephone interview, which I was actually at college when they had rung me, asking me a few basic interview questions, getting to know me. After that I had an assessment centre, which was based on site and it was split into 3, so it was an interview, a presentation about myself and a group task. Once that was done, 2 weeks later I had another second interview with my line manager, who had my CV in front of him and was just getting to know me more as a person. And then I received a phone call a week later to tell me that I received my apprenticeship. The thing that drew me into my apprenticeship and the industry that I'm in was, number one, the company that I'm working for. I think working for a global brand such as my company, Coca-Cola Europe Pacific Partners, was something that I always thought would be amazing. It's an amazing, huge company and there'd always be different opportunities available, and I knew for myself in the future there's different opportunities and paths that I can go down. It's definitely the main thing that drew me. Last year in November I won the 2020 Judges' Choices UK BAME Apprenticeship Award, which was really amazing, I guess. It's made me have so many more further opportunities since winning my award, and to win an award 1 year into your career at an amazing company is something that I'll always treasure forever. My goal for the future is to one day be in a leadership position. I've always wanted to be a manager, maybe one day even a site director, so it's what I've set my heart on, so hopefully one day I'll be here in a leadership position. The advice that I would give to a student who was looking to maybe do an apprenticeship would be to do your research. So have a look at what you'd like to do, check your options of what's available. There's so many different apprenticeships with different career paths. Just go for it. University isn't the only option. I think going into an apprenticeship is a really, really good choice, so definitely just go for it. The advice that I would give to parents or carers who are wondering about an apprenticeship for their child would definitely be to understand that with an apprenticeship you get the best of both worlds. You get to earn a qualification, you're earning a salary and you're getting that work experience that is really important. I'm the first person in my family to do an apprenticeship, and for me doing my apprenticeship, getting a distinction, winning my award, it's made all my cousins sort of want to do the similar route as me. Definitely don't be worried if your child wants to do an apprenticeship, because the options out there are endless.